Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Day Show. I am here with a fresh new haircut. Yes. Well, let me tell you a little story of how I got this fresh new haircut and who cut it. Gather around, children, friends, neighbors, family, and hear the story of how a drug dealer cut my hair. Let me start off by saying that I do not know if this was an actual drug dealing area. I'm not saying that these people were drug dealers. I'm not saying that the sky is blue, but it looks blue. It was last Friday that I cut my hair. It was also Karen's birthday. I had a class that morning. These are important details to the story, kids, so pay attention. So I have a class from 8 to like 12 on Fridays. And I didn't have time to stay for the whole period of class because it was Karen's birthday, and we had made breakfast reservations at 11:30. And I had long, disgusting hair, which my mom told me to cut the day before. But me being, well, me, I had to wait till the absolute last minute to cut my hair. I got out of class early, and by early I mean an hour early, expecting to cut my hair, take a shower, and prepare for Karen's birthday breakfast. That didn't go out as planned. So I got out at 10 o'clock and I ran to my local barbershop, the one that I always go to. When I got there, all the chairs were full and there were still people waiting in line. So I was like, I only have an hour to get my hair cut and make it on time for the reservation. So I wasn't about to wait an hour and a half to get a haircut. So me, being the millennial that I am, I busted out my phone and I said, "Siri, can you send me to the nearest barbershop?" Siri, being my main snitch that she is, sends me to a place that we're gonna call Barbershop Number 1. And just to give you guys an idea, the name that I said right now is not far from the name that it actually was. Siri sends me to Barbershop Number 1. For those of you who don't get it, this is the metaphorical red flag that should have been ringing in my head, but I'm dumb and I do not understand social cues or how to be a human, so none of these were actually going off in my head. So this Barbershop Number 1, was only 7 minutes away, and I saw the reviews and it had 5 stars. So I was like, okay, well, this barbershop, I mean, it's the closest. I don't have enough time to worry about other barbershops or looking up, the best. So I went to this barbershop, and when I got there, it was in the front of some apartment buildings in an area that's not, let's call it the prettiest or the most pleasant. But I mean, neither am I, so I was like, you know what, whatever, twins. Well, when I got there, I saw a couple things. First of all, the sign that had the name of the Barbershop Number 1, was painted with, just painted. It didn't have actual sign or anything. It was just like a painted sign. But that didn't raise any flags, as I said, because I'm just not good at life. So I parked my car, I walked towards the barbershop, and the door was open, but the sign didn't say open. So me, not wanting to be socially awkward or anything, didn't want to go inside and ask if it was open. So I just stood there at the door, then I walked back to my car thinking it was closed. And that would have been the end of the story if the next thing didn't happen. I pulled out my phone again to ask Siri for another barbershop. I was running out of time, and out comes this guy who was dressed very casual, I want to say. Basically stereotypical, drug dealing outfit. And just like, he didn't look professional. I know some barber shops have uniform, or like at least dress trendy or like professional. I don't know. He didn't look that professional. So at first I thought he must not be part of the barber shop or anything. But then he comes out and I see him and he says, "You looking for Tyler?" But me, being the naive person that I am, I was like, "Oh, Tyler must be like their best barber, you know?" So I'm like, no. And then he says, "Oh, so you want a haircut?" But what I should have been thinking is, of course I want a haircut. Why would you think otherwise if I'm at a barber shop? But I'm not good at life, so I'm like, yeah. And he's like, "Okay, well, come in, I got you." And that's how the story begins, friends. So I walk in, and there was only another man inside the barbershop other than the guy that was gonna cut my hair. So I assumed he was like the cashier or something, because he was standing in front of the like cash register or stuff. But thinking back at it, I don't think there was any cash register there. I think he was just standing in front of like a desk. I sat down in the barbershop. Looking around the barbershop, I noticed that like everything was, it looked like a normal barbershop. Like it looked like an actual barbershop. But I guess some things were a little weird. Like the things looked old. I noticed that they had like a shelf where they would sell hats and like sweaters and stuff. But like it was broken. Like everything was falling off and like the shelf looked broken. So I mean, I didn't like, I was just like, oh, you know, like it just, I guess it broke or something. I sat down next to the barber and he smelled heavily of the devil's lettuce, the green monster, how do I word it so the kids at home smell like weed. I guess it didn't get past me that like I know, I was just thinking, oh, he must have, I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, I know it's legal in California now, but like I guess, are you allowed to smoke that much before going to work or like at work? Well, this man did. And I mean, no hate or anything. But like, if you smell heavily of that at work, I don't know. I don't know. Don't hurt me. He stood next to me, and he's like, "So what you want?" And I was like, well, I want it a little bit like long on the top and then short on the bottom. And normal barbers usually say, oh, so like what? And so they usually say a number here and a number there. And like, you know, they use the barber lingo that we're just supposed to understand. He didn't. He was just like, okay. Like, he didn't ask any questions or anything. He's just like, okay. Like, usually barbers ask for more detail, but I mean, I just assumed that he was a great barber. So he began to cut my hair, and everything was normal. Everything was good. I was like, oh, I'm in a barber shop getting my hair cut. And I noticed that guys kept coming in, but none of them would get their haircuts. It was a barbershop, but people kept coming in, talking to the guy in the front, but none of them would get their haircut. For example, the first guy that came in, I was like, oh, another person's here, good. Like, now I'm not the only customer. He was bald. And then the other guys kept coming in, and it was packed at one point, but no one was getting their haircut. And I thought, why is nobody getting their haircut? Yeah, he just kept on cutting my hair. I was the only guy getting their haircut at a barber shop. And another thing, this for some reason is like really strange to me, and when I began to understand that this might not be a regular barbershop, no, every barber that I've ever gone to has asked me, how do you want the back? Do you want it square or do you want it round? And like, I always say, you know, whatever, because I don't care, because I don't know anything about haircuts. This guy didn't ask. And I was like waiting for him to ask, but then he just, you know, he just cut it. And I was like, okay, well, I guess. So all this happened, you know, Tyler, the smell of the devil's lettuce, the store being a mess, and then no cash register, people coming in that were bald, not getting haircuts, and none of it all flew past me. I was like, you know, whatever, I'm getting my haircut. But the one thing that officially triggered it was when he started using scissors. They always use scissors on my hair, yeah. But like, he took out the scissors and he started cutting. And I noticed that the scissors weren't sharp. Yes, they weren't sharp. Like, I was gonna get my hair cut, and usually they keep the scissors very sharp, but these were to the point of dullness where they would, instead of cut my hair, they would pull on my hair, like as if they weren't used. Like, why would they use scissors at a dry detailing place? And that's when everything hit. That's when every little piece of the puzzle came together, and I was like, I am not at a barber shop. So then I started freaking out. I just felt like, oh, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, what am I doing here? Like, something bad's gonna happen. Like, the anxiety level started rising and rising, and then he was finally done, and I was ready to like leave. And in the morning, I bought a Starbucks, and I had the change in my pocket because I paid in cash. I had a couple cents in my pocket. I was done getting the haircut. I got up and I noticed that the change was on the chair when I stood up. So I was gonna reach over for it, but then I saw that he was picking it up, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna hand it to me. He picks up the change, then he puts it in his pocket in front of me. My change. And I was just staring at him like, okay, like, I don't want to mess with him. You want to keep 50 cents? Like, you take them, you know? But it was like a bunch of pennies and dimes and nickels that I knew were mine. And he just picked them up and he like put them in his pocket in front of my face, like looking at me in the eye. And I was like, okay. And I'm like, oh, how much for the haircut? And he's like, $23. Other places charge like $40. So I was like, this is really cheap. Like, so, and he didn't even like bat at all. Like, I actually like the haircut. I'm debating whether to go again because like it's such a good haircut. But like, so I paid the man $25 because, you know, I still had to tip because like it's a good haircut, right. Then after I paid him $25, I like booked it out of there as fast as I could because I realized that this place was not a barber shop. Yeah, I drove out of there and I like ran, and I was late for the reservation, but like it's such a great story. Yeah, that's the story of how I got my haircut at a drug dealing place. I don't know, do you guys think I'm crazy? Do you guys think, no, this is just a normal barber shop, like you're paranoid, you're crazy? Leave a comment below saying what you guys think. Like, am I crazy? Was this like a normal barber shop? Was there enough clues and evidence to prove that this was not an ordinary barbershop? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button right down there. Comment what I just told you to comment. And subscribe to Come an Awkward Smiler. Anything to add, Diego?
I've been listening to the story the whole time.
I'm a horrible brother. Bye! Okay, so, okay, okay.